Welcome everyone. Humility and authenticity. So let's start with authenticity. Then we'll get to humility. See, we already have a personality. The personality that we know as ourself is just the sum total of all the patterns, all the samskaras that we have accumulated in the course of our evolution, and then more specifically in this lifetime, we've accumulated a lot of behaviors. That personality covers the essential truth of what we are. So already on the spiritual path, we are trying to deconstruct or get rid of all that accumulation. But now there's a further potential roadblock. Some of us, all of us, to some degree, to varying degrees, have a mental process that on top of this personality then projects another personality. How, why varies. But I'll give you a simple example. Due to your work, have you noticed customer service people or a doctor or someone like that? It's like they put on this mask when they see a patient and they have this complete alternate personality that interacts with the patient, or a customer service rep. And then when they walk out of that, it's like they take off this personality. So the human ego and mind know how to construct a personality. And sometimes this personality, we don't have just one. We'll have for each occasion. And here we are trying to deconstruct the one we were born with. And now we've added 2-3 more layers. So authenticity is when you express the truth of who you are, which means you deconstruct all these other projections. So you first have to let go of those projections and the habit of projecting itself. Because if we don't get rid of this habit of projecting a personality other than just what we are, on the spiritual path, what could potentially happen is when you get to that stage where your ego nature feels threatened, it will pretend surrender by constructing an alternate personality, a spiritual ego. It'll shift. It's a chameleon. Every one of us has that capability and uses it. Very rarely what you see is what you get. And typically the people who are that direct and that authentic are typically labeled by society as maladjusted. So that is authenticity, just being true to who you are. Every one of us is a work in progress. So we're a work in progress. Why try to paper over the work? Humility comes when you are true and express what you are. The openness, the truth of your essential nature, it's automatic. So you don't try to be humble. Humility comes when you have deconstructed enough of what you call a self-regarding ego that then allows you to be open so that you can surrender. Because at the end, you have to surrender that ego, that identification, I. We have identification in all the components of the human system, right? We have it in the physical, the vital, the mental. But that self-regarding ego puts up the most resistance and gives the biggest challenge. Because it will prevent that softening, that opening, that humility that allows something greater to enter and work. Humility comes when the ego accepts that it doesn't know, can't do. See, we always start out the journey trying to know. We want to know where we are going. We want to know how to do it. We want to know so many things. But on the spiritual journey, on the material side, that helps us, all that knowledge. On the spiritual side, what we discover after a while is most of what we have accumulated through this process of wanting to know actually hinders our progress. Because it's a lot of stuff that we potentially have to unlearn. Creation and life is vast. And whatever we know, our ignorance is greater. So might as well accept that we don't know and can't do. So surrender is one of the 3 things that we have to do to be on this path of grace and transformation. Aspiration, rejection, and surrender. And surrender doesn't come easily. Humility will come before surrender. And it doesn't come all at once. As little by little, pieces of our personality get transformed, they will soften. Because what happens is, we are this hard shell of samskaras. As each piece passes away, or is transformed or drops away, we become more open. There is more space. For those of you who have done TT for a while, you will recognize the space within you. As you grow, the space grows. That space is open. That is how you become more open. It's not something you can try to do. Because if you try to do and you project that, then you are not being authentic. So the best bet is to always just see yourself as you are. And in that witnessing and experiencing of your personality as it is how you get transformed. To see yourself as you are and accept yourself as you are. Because every journey starts from where you are. Can a journey start from anywhere other than where you're standing? So you are where you are. You want to be somewhere else, that's great, but you are where you are. So accept where you are. And then pick the direction that takes you towards your goal.